Have you ever spent hundreds of hours trying to learn a new language, only to find yourself completely blank when someone asks you a simple question? What if I told you there's a revolutionary method that could help you absorb not just a few dozen, but up to 1,500 words daily in any language you choose? This isn't another empty promise from a language app or an expensive course that leads nowhere. This is about a groundbreaking approach developed by one of history's greatest minds. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman, known for explaining quantum mechanics to college freshmen, Feynman applied the same brilliant simplicity to language acquisition, and the results are nothing short of extraordinary. Has this ever happened to you? You diligently study grammar rules, practice pronunciation, complete countless exercises, yet months later you still struggle to form basic sentences when it matters. You're not alone. The conventional language learning approach has it all backward, and that's why so many of us fail despite our best efforts. What you're about to discover might surprise you. While most language courses start with grammar or common phrases, Feynman recognized a fundamental truth: vocabulary must come first. Without a strong foundation of words, you're essentially building a house on sand. Grammar without vocabulary is like learning the rules of chess without knowing what the pieces do, technically correct but practically useless. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Stay with me until the end, because Feynman's method isn't just about prioritizing vocabulary. It's about how you organize these words to mirror how your brain naturally processes language. Unlike the random word lists most courses provide, Feynman developed a methodical system that follows your brain's natural learning patterns. Imagine starting with concrete nouns related to your personal interests, things you actually care about talking about, then systematically adding the top 200 most common verbs that drive conversation. Finally, incorporating the 100 most useful adjectives to add color and precision to your expression. This natural progression creates a vocabulary base that grows organically, allowing your brain to absorb words at a rate you never thought possible. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and efficiency. By focusing on the fundamental building blocks and organizing them strategically by relevance, you're not just memorizing words, you're building neural pathways that make recall almost effortless. What makes Feynman's method truly revolutionary isn't just what you learn, but how you learn it. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that memorizing vocabulary is a tedious, painful process that requires endless repetition. But what if I told you that your brain is actually designed to remember massive amounts of information when presented the right way? The hidden truth behind all effective learning is that our brains aren't designed like computers. We don't simply input and output data. Feynman discovered what neuroscientists have now confirmed. The brain doesn't remember information. It remembers experiences with emotional significance. This revelation completely transforms the vocabulary acquisition journey. When you encounter the word run in Spanish, French, or Japanese, don't just translate it and move on. That's precisely why traditional methods fail. Instead, close your eyes and actually visualize yourself running. Feel your feet hitting the pavement. Hear your quickened breath. Experience the sensation of movement. This mental imagery creates neural pathways across multiple regions of your brain, forming a complex network that makes the word virtually impossible to forget. The mindset shift is powerful. You're no longer studying a language, you're embodying it. Words cease being abstract symbols on a page and become lived experiences with personal relevance. I've witnessed remarkable breakthroughs with students using this technique, even those who previously believed they had bad memories for languages. It's not about memory capacity at all. It's about engagement and emotional connection. Think about how easily you remember lyrics to songs or dialogues from movies you love. That's the power of emotional significance at work. If you're ready to transform your language learning journey with these powerful techniques, hit that subscribe button and join our community of language enthusiasts who are breaking through barriers using Feynman's method. But this journey of transformation doesn't end with memorization. Passive knowledge isn't enough. For real-world impact, that's why the second component of Feynman's methodology focuses on daily, deliberate practice with personally meaningful sentences. The most effective language learners commit to creating just 15 new sentences every day using their newly acquired vocabulary. Not random examples from a textbook, sentences relevant to your life, your work, your interests. Write about your actual day, your genuine thoughts, your authentic experiences. This is where your language journey becomes deeply personal. Instead of reciting "the book is on the table" for the 100th time, describe what you're actually doing. "I'm enjoying my coffee while watching the sunrise," or "I'm frustrated because my computer crashed during an important meeting." These real-life applications bridge the crucial gap between knowing words and actually using them naturally in conversation. With modern technology that wasn't available in Feynman's time, you can leverage AI-powered language tools to provide immediate feedback on your sentences, helping you catch nuances that direct translation might miss. What's particularly fascinating about this approach is how it respects the brain's natural learning mechanisms. Traditional education often treats the mind like a computer: input information, output results. But Feynman recognized that humans learn through connection, emotion, and personal relevance. This insight isn't just applicable to language learning, it's a fundamental truth about how we acquire any complex skill. Now, I want to go even deeper into how Feynman's methodology addresses the most common reason people forget vocabulary, even after multiple exposures. It's a psychological principle that explains why you can study a word 20 times and still draw a blank when you need it most. If this approach is resonating with your own experiences, write in the comments. Feynman's method makes sense to my brain. This brings us to what might be Feynman's most brilliant insight into the mechanics of memory. The secret to long-term retention, he discovered, isn't about how many times you review information, it's about when you review it. This revelation completely transforms how we approach vocabulary retention on our language learning journey. Most language learners make a critical error in their practice routine. They either review words too frequently, wasting precious study time on words they already know well, or they wait too long, forcing themselves to relearn forgotten vocabulary from scratch. The transformation happens when you understand there exists a perfect moment to review each word, right before your brain is about to forget it. This sweet spot maximizes efficiency and sends a powerful signal to your brain that this information deserves permanent storage. It's like telling your memory, "Hey, this is important enough to remember forever." The breakthrough here isn't just theoretical, it's practical and actionable in your daily routine. While Feynman manually tracked his optimal review times using a complex system of notes, we now have sophisticated digital applications that employ spaced repetition algorithms to do this work for us. These systems adapt to your personal learning curve, presenting words exactly when you need to see them. The efficiency gains are remarkable. Studies show you can remember 5 times as many words with the same amount of study time using this approach. But here's the revelation that separates true language masters from eternal beginners. No matter how perfectly you implement spaced repetition, passive recognition of words is simply not enough. This hidden truth illuminates why many language learners remain stuck in perpetual mediocrity despite years of dedicated study. Think about the fundamental difference between recognizing a word when you see it, passive knowledge, versus having to produce that word from memory in conversation, active recall. These are completely different cognitive processes. Every time you force your brain to actively recall a word instead of merely recognizing it, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with that word, making it more accessible when you need it in real conversation. The practical implementation of this principle is straightforward yet profoundly impactful. Say words aloud, even when studying alone. Quiz yourself instead of just reviewing. Most importantly, deliberately incorporate new vocabulary into your conversations, even when it feels uncomfortable. This discomfort is actually the catalyst for growth, a sign that you're pushing beyond passive recognition into the realm of active mastery. The journey from language learner to language user requires this fundamental mindset shift. Many remain trapped in an endless cycle of study without ever making the leap to actual usage. Feynman's approach breaks this cycle by making active recall a central pillar of the learning process from day one. This leads us to a crucial understanding about language fluency that few teachers ever discuss: the invisible threshold that separates those who perpetually study a language from those who actually acquire it. If you've ever experienced that frustrating moment when you recognize a word but can't produce it in conversation, type "active recall is my missing piece" in the comments below. The invisible threshold between studying a language and truly living it is what Feynman's approach ultimately helps us cross. You're not just learning words and grammar, you're rewiring your brain to think in a new language. This transformation isn't just in your language skills, it's in your confidence, your cultural connections, and potentially your entire worldview. I've shared these techniques with thousands of students worldwide, and the results consistently amaze me. People who struggled for years suddenly experience breakthroughs within weeks. What truly matters isn't the method itself, but how it empowers you to make a language part of who you are, rather than just something you study. If you found value in these insights and want to continue this language learning journey together, I'd love for you to join our community by subscribing. Each week, I break down these complex language acquisition principles into practical, actionable strategies you can implement immediately to transform your learning experience. I'm curious if something in this approach resonated with you personally. Let me know by commenting. Feynman unlocked my potential below. Your experiences and insights add tremendous value to our collective learning, and I read every comment. And if you found these ideas helpful, a like on this video helps others discover these techniques too. It's always wonderful to see how far these methods can reach and who they might help next. Right over there, you'll find a video about how to practice speaking a new language when you don't have conversation partners. It pairs perfectly with what we've discussed today. Click on it when you're ready to take the next step in your language journey. Until then, happy learning.